What's an addiction that no one takes seriously enough? I've beaten booze, meth, crack, and cigarettes. I now need treatment for sugar. Chapstick. There's 994 comments, so not sure if has been said, but my lips will never let me give up chapstick until I do. Surprised this one isn't mentioned more. I've known several people with serious chapstick addiction. For me, I don't use it much because it seems like when I do, my lips get more chapped. Work. So many of my friends in their late 20s work themselves to exhaustion, go out for drinks and talk about work for 3 hours, get called in early to work the next day, and kiss the boss's ass on their days off. Social media addiction. I think eventually we will find out that social media contributes to mental illness someday. Self-deprecation. It starts as just jokes to break the ice in social situations. Then it becomes a form of sarcasm ingrained into your everyday speech. Then it becomes a true depiction of how you see yourself, and it spirals into depression. Addiction to love, especially in toxic relationships. The needing, the longing, the desperation, the codependency. The rage, the jealousy. Energy drinks. Man, I don't know why I'm so low on energy today. I think I need another Red Bull. No, you need water. This will sound weird, but winning. People nowadays need to feel like they are the victors of everything. If someone has an opinion that differs from yours, that is not okay. You need to convince them they're wrong and you're right. Phone addiction. Scrolls on. In someone with ADHD, dopamine, it's easy to become addicted to social media, gaming, gambling, sex, attention, drugs, alcohol, and all of the other addictions. Because the real problem is you're just trying to get access to a normal amount of dopamine. TV. I swear parents will yell at their children to get off video games and get mad at their kids because they have an addiction to video games, yet they are the ones watching 12 hours straight and try to claim it's somehow different. Shopping. People think I just like nice shit, but they don't realize I literally can't stop, and it's ruined relationships, but I don't know how to quit. The dopamine is real. Addiction to work and achievement. Marijuana, not that bad until 20 years go by in a haze. Do you know that I give you money for uploading my videos to TikTok, and the one who gains the most views in a month gets an extra $1,000? More details on my Discord server, link in the comments. Caffeine, mainly in the form of coffee. If it's energy drinks, it's suddenly much more of an issue, but people take pride in not functioning without their morning coffee. The amount of shirts, cups, and home decor saying stuff like, "Don't talk to me before my coffee," or "But first, coffee baffles me." If you can't function without it, you're addicted, Helen. Scrolling. Almost missed this one, I was going so fast. Self-harm. Absolutely, especially when adults say the kids do it for attention. If they are doing it for attention, then give them attention. Sincerely, a former self-harmer. I quit, day 2. If you want to stay quit, stop counting. You're not on day 2, you're just not that kind of person anymore. Remember the date, but don't count the days. Otherwise, you're always fighting to not be who you identify as. You're someone who doesn't not a for fighting the urge. Skin picking. My index, thumb, and middle fingers are permanently destroyed, and all my parents says is, "You got to stop," yet no, I can't. Anger. It releases serotonin. It's cathartic. Easy to become a dominant response in many social situations. Food. Also the hardest to break as you can't go cold turkey or abstain. Compulsive shoplifting. I saw nobody say this, so I'm gonna say it. Sadness might seem like a weird thing, but a lot of people are addicted to making themselves sad or make themselves feel pain. Alcohol dependency. People only think being a full-blown alcoholic is an issue. The millions who can't go a day without booze, yet are functional and whose lives would be 10x better without it, are the real issue. Sugar. I'm 100% addicted to sugar. Recently. Alcohol. You could be slamming back a 6-pack every day after work. Why mom drinking out of a flask at soccer games and baby showers, 10 a.m. Sunday mimosas, and no one bats an eye as long as you're functioning and you turn it into a joke. Unless you're yourself drooling in a corner at 8 a.m. every morning, no one even thinks alcoholism. There's a lot that aren't taken seriously or are looked down upon because of the stigma around it. Food, gambling, even legal narcotics are looked down upon, but illegal narcotics aren't seen as what they often are, which is a way to avoid dealing with something in one's past. Much the same can be said about alcoholism, staying up late for no apparent reason. It's taking a serious toll on my mental health, and yet I can't seem to stop. Maybe my circadian rhythm is messed up, but it seems like I do this completely by choice. Sleep aids like Zizquil. I'd always had sleeping issues. Turns out long-term use can possibly bring on dementia and Alzheimer's. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has found a connection between frequent and long-term use of drugs containing diphenhydramine and the risk of developing dementia, including Alzheimer's disease, especially in older adults who abuse this medication. I'm horrified because Alzheimer's runs in my family. Nicotine can't go one day without it, and if I don't have it, I drink and eat food excessively just to fight the cravings. Winning arguments, or at least the other person giving up. I know a guy that will argue with anyone over anything, with the sole intention of making them give up in disgust. Marijuana. I know it's not as bad as other drugs, but if you're seriously going to look me in the eye and say it's not addictive when you wake and bake 24/7, solitude is dangerous. It's very addictive. It becomes a habit after you realize how peaceful and calm it is. It's like you don't want to deal with people anymore because they drain your energy. Jim Carrey. Validation. Meant to comment this earlier, but procrastination. Casual alcoholism. People notice severe alcoholism, where they're obviously drunk in broad daylight, but the number of people I see who are just casually drinking at noon or drinking tons of mimosas at 9 a.m. or make their entire personality about alcohol are way too into alcohol for it to be healthy. Attention. And it can manifest in so many ways. Social media, causing issues in school, causing chaos, etc. Compulsively buying. In worst case scenarios, the person either becomes a hoarder due to all the stuff they accumulate and/or turns themselves into a debt slave by opening up 10+ credit cards and maxing them out to buy more stuff to get the dopamine hit. Similar to alcoholism, the person needs to want to change themselves. You can physically take their cards away and cut them up and admonish them or compassionately talk with them, but they have the card info saved on websites like Amazon, and it's trivial to continue buying online without the physical card, or to order a replacement card or open up even more cards to continue putting themselves into the hole. It can be a real compulsion for the buyer. Nasal spray. Physician here. I love and hate this answer because it's not discerning enough. Steroid sprays like Flonase and Nasacort, as well as Soline sprays, are not addicting and they need to be used continuously for some severe allergy sufferers. It's the Afrin, as most have pointed out, that can really mess your nose up. Active ingredient oxymetazoline. Definitely one I avoid at all costs. I just wanted to clarify the difference for those who are curious. Cell phones. If you haven't watched my other videos, then be sure to watch this one. I bet it will amaze you. Or you can watch all our videos in a row in this playlist. Write your stories in the comments, subscribe, turn on the bell, and go to our Discord. There we give you money for uploading our videos to TikTok. You uploaded, you gain views, you got money. Link in the comments.